Point number 4, I broke, so far I've broken 2 calf creeks, or Andices, and I filmed them, and then I got frustrated and I made an ivory punch, and I made 2 more on preforms that I had already made, so I didn't film those preforms being made, and I notched them and they turned out great, so are pretty good. So this is the 3rd attempt with ivory, and I didn't film this hammerstone preform that I just made. And it's all hammerstone. I haven't done any punch work or pressure, and I'm gonna leave this one just all hammerstone, so you can see the range of the. I suspect that every once in a while they've made these things on a preform that just had hammerstone percussion. So I need to get. It was crusty on the back. This preform was longer, and I had to shorten it up because I had a lot of crust back here. I'm going to take a couple little bitty flakes, and then I'm going to just notch it. I need just a... I saved all the hammerstone flakes too. I won't save these just because they're minuscule, but... to get just a little trimmer right here. There we go. There, that helped. I think I can. I'll put this one in the bag. And I'll look at my other little baggies. Okay, well, I might need to get I might get just a couple little pressure flakes right here, and so this will be 99. I won't do any pressure flaking on the blade. I'll just do a couple little ones right back here on the tail. If you pressure flake into leather, you get step terminations if you push in too hard. There's absolutely no way that they were pressure flaking the Andice points off some kind of anvil. For the heavy work. Or not on the clean chipped ones. It's a little crusty back here still. The antler punches that I used, I've been leaving my tools outside in the shed, and it's been really damp, and I'm not making excuses for myself, but my notchers were worn down, and these things are difficult to do with good antlers, so I made the ivory punch, and it makes it a lot easier. A sliver of tooth, not right on the enamel, just off the enamel. It all works about the same. The ivory punch that I have is just a small section of hippo tooth, actually, but boar's teeth, warthog tooth works just great. And the outer ivory can flake. I mean, it'll chip if you want to flake it, but these little wedges, they hold up pretty well. See how I ground the outside off just a little bit, and I've got a little punch. I need to probably dress it, but I'll work these little shoulders. I'll work the little shoulders until it gets too worn down, and then I'll grind it down and dress her up. We'll see how it works. I've got plenty of width here, so I shouldn't have too much problems. Uh-oh. I knocked one little notch flake off my pad turning that. Make sure I don't do that. I'm a little wide in the base there, but I just did a couple calf, well, that one that was wide with like a Calf Creek type base, and I can make a Calf Creek out of this one too, I guess. Oops. I'm so much more confident with this ivory punch. I'm going to need to, though, dress it here a little bit. Hate that little neck there, but I hate that when I dink my corner like that. I have to sort of match it up back here. I should have done this little part first because it's crusty. Really crusty. Coming around the ear just to get that little lower area to take a little flake. Wow, I have to get through this before I go back to the other side because that is crusty in there. See how that just clunked off there? There we go. I got through most of it. There we go. It's still crusty in there, and I've got a little issue with that, the way that came off. This is one where I'm going to need an anvil and hope I don't crack it. Maybe put my flex up there. They're all really little because of the way I'm going in there, sort of too wide. I haven't got any in a row where I'm just scooting and popping one after the other. When they work nice, you do that. When they don't, you do this. When you get a big bite and then you get in, that's when you get cracks. Let's try to avoid that here. I think that cleaned it up pretty well. With it as dry and crunchy. I picked a really poor rock to film on this side. There we go. I made a little platform. Hopefully I can... That is not looking good. Well, it did pretty good. I'll be happy when I get through this. Gotta make sure the support isn't pushing down on your ear, causing it to bend off, or roll off, or crack, or then when you hit it, you gotta hit it confident. I need a double here. There we go. These are good flakes, but they're just getting destroyed. So important not to, when you're turning these, to do it right. I think I can get away without my holder in this one. Like here. I need to change my tip. I'm getting away with some here. I need to get another good one in here. There. I need to stop now and catch up. Sometimes when I'm in a notch and I'm doing okay, I like to keep going, but I'm happy with that because I've got through my crusty crud. This was really crusty in here, and no cracks. I'm well controlled at that thickness. The notch is very well executed. It's a little on the heavy side as far as the notch goes. No gouging, no distinctive steel or copper signs. Flakes are popping off. They're thin. Ivory is... It's weird. You think that you would, because ivory is harder than antler, when you count the zigs in your stem and you counted punch flakes, that there would be more. I mean less, because it's harder, but really it seems like it takes you longer to get into a notch with ivory than it does antler. I like the control. There's less, the flakes are thinner, I would say. Alright, now let's try not to fuck this side up. See what we can do. I really need to get in here. There we go. I had a tough bite to get. And that one really was a little bit more of a bite. These guys were just, oh, I hate that. When you do too much of a thicken, you just do that a little too much, you can mess up your whole platform and gank yourself majorly. Crud. That's bad. It doesn't look bad, but it is. See the thickness in there on the edge? I guess it really doesn't look awful, but from that point of view, it's awful heavy. So you anvil, you get high, you cross your fingers, or you borrow from an ear and come around, but I'm already sort of wide on this side. But I think that's what I'm going to do. If I don't borrow from an ear and I get high, I might crack it. This isn't one that would pry an ear off, but this is one that would start a radial crack in the notch. And these guys must have just done this because they were probably doing something different than I'm doing and more consistent. I don't know what that would be. It's hard enough to do it with antler. Yeah, that was good. See how I borrowed a little bit from the ear? You're punching away and you're worried about getting too high, but you got to get started somewhere. And now I can trim that down and bring it back. But the number of screwed up, broken, notched things of these that are, I don't know. It's harder to do a nice lost lake actually than it is a nice Andice, I think, to get the notching flakes to look right. The narrow notched ones anyway. There we go. There we go. Just a little. There we go. I think there's a lot of applications for ivory for all kinds of stuff because it's pretty available. And it's pretty tough stuff. You think that they'd find some more ivory punches or something, but there we go. When you're really comfortable and you're cruising, it's so nice. And you have the confidence on the stem side to get hit up those flakes hard and ramp up your support. I like to use the leather support when I can, and then just go to the hard support when I need to, which is, I don't know if it's a good idea or not. Gotta be careful when the ears are pushing down. If you're pushing the ear down, and all sorts of bad things can happen. That ear that I reverse hinged, I had too much support in the ear, caused too much pressure, and then the flakes run into the ridge from the margin and they dive. And that's what causes you reverse hinge in the ear when you leave those breaks that go like this, diagonal. Or you can radially crack them and shear them off this way. Or you can just plain end snap them, the vibrations. You know about all this stuff. I don't know why I'm used to talking to people that don't already know this. So I apologize for preaching to the choir. Okay. Make the preform in 15 minutes and spend an hour notching the things. Here we go. Love that. These are the kind of flakes that you're wanting to see. And when you really are doing a bunch of these in a row, you get more of these. Isn't that cool? I'll make sure you get that one. You're getting all these, but nice. I don't really, my back isn't as ratty now as I thought it was going to be. Need to get under my little I did. One thing about this is normally with napping, when you get a sense when you're out of the woods, you know, you can take a breather. And these things are just like, you don't get any of that. And even when you're doing the rework, the ears chime and they can, I can't tell you how many times I've gotten done with these things and notched them beautifully, and then I'm just doing a little trimming up here, and the vibrations, these bing, ears pop off like tuning forks. And it's just, they had to have dampened that shock when they were in the half to where that didn't happen. What you that are done absolutely no trimming, resharpening at all. I'm not liking where this stage of this notch in this ear is right now. I've got this removal, which is nice, but to turn and get another one here, I'm sort of worked in the depth in that notch, and to get one off this ear here, I don't have room. So I don't know where to go, double on this side or what. I guess I'm about the same depth as the other side, so I can switch over, or I can try to get a little pressure one right there. Maybe now I can turn here. I think I can dull this up and turn here, and hopefully I won't get stalled. Or worse, make an ugly looking notch flake. There's more than 10 ways to make these things look dumb when you're done. This is where I need a little abrasion on this flake. I need that to strengthen up and just come off a little. Alright, fingers crossed. Delicious. Okay. Now I'm in good shape to come back and get one here. Make sure I clear. Another way to break them is you get too tight, the tool gets too tight on the notch, just doesn't have a little bit of room. It needs to have a little bit of room at the end, or you can send the shock to that ear. And I think I'm okay here though. Yeah. Alright, my hat's off to Kerry Weber, man. I'd like to buy that guy a beer if he drinks beer. There aren't many people that are willing to sit down and do these things or care that much about them. I never talked to the guy. He doesn't do any nap-ins. I don't do any nap-ins really anymore. There's still a little bit of crust over here. I need to pop a little pressure flake out there. There we go. I don't know what to do, Sergio. I'm right in the middle of this thickness. I don't know which side to go to. There's danger both ways. I think I'm going to go stem side, this side. You're not here to talk me out of it. So I will. I need to find my little shelf that I like. Get a good spot to get in. Make sure I don't twist anything off. I might go point here and try to get a new thing started. Which is sometimes dangerous. Here, let's try this spot. Boy. Oh, there we go. I was worried about my tool twisting. Man, this is dramatic. By the time you watch this, you'll know who won the election. As it stands right now, Mr. Nate Silver says that it's about a 65 chance for Obama. We know what Texas had to say about it. I'm sort of pulling for Obama. But, I think it's going to be a nail biter. I think he could lose. Oh, I've got 150 bucks I'm going to lose if he loses. These. good one right here. There we go. I would have liked a little bigger one, but I'll take it. Don't pry this ear off. Don't pry my ear. Come on. Uh-oh. Might need a little bit more support there. I don't like it when I wear too low in my punch, because then I'm up. I'm trying to get up to it. And all sorts of bad stuff can happen. Problem with regrinding right when you're done towards the end is that you've got all your little comfortable shelves and little spots in there that you're used to hitting, and then you grind them down, and then you gotta slick surfaces, and you gotta find your new spots, and you gotta work from the end about. Maybe I should do this side a little bit more. Let's see, how many minutes does it take? See this? I've been notching this thing for almost 40 minutes. This is ridiculous. And you can go in there with copper. I can have one of these done in copper in, no kidding, like a minute. 5 minutes. Maybe a minute's a little. But I mean, it's ridiculous. There. I like punching on the stem side because you can really give it to it. You know, that one did a little release, not ideal, but you might have seen some of those. In fact, I think it's what I'm going to do here. There we go. There. I like ones that expand out a little bit when they finish the notch. You know, stylistically, when they don't finish narrow to the stem, but when you need to make a platform, what are you going to do? Go. It's a nice feeling when you're cruising. I'm in pretty good shape here, I think. go. My stem is a little cattywampus, isn't it? I need to do a little nibbling. Which, if I had hafting requirements that were as stringent as they are, I might or might not do that. I don't know what they... Man, this is a tough call on this one. I gotta punch both on the outside of the stem, and I'm far in there. It might have been a game, man. Some of this stuff, it's like they bet. They go around and they gamble, and they're all notching their points, and they throw little stuff in to bet on whether or not somebody's gonna fuck up an ear. And that the person who wins gets a, I don't know, biggest chunk of liver. Some of this stuff, there might not be anything more to it than that, because these things are absurd. Wonderful, absurd. Now I've got two. I've got two punch flakes to get both ear side. My stem side power sets are done. I've got one that I can get here, one that I can get here, and one that I can get here. And that's dangerous. And that thickness getting in there and punching outward. But this thing is actually pretty ugly looking. I don't know what to tell you. I guess I can widen my notch towards the ear side and make this thing sort of chip the ugly off this thing. I don't know, man. It's hilarious. All hammerstone and then abo notched Andice, and it's, you know, I mean, it's, there aren't very many people that can appreciate how difficult that is to do. And if I tried to sell that thing, oh my gosh, it would, as is, it'd be almost impossible. Let's see. Which this just ain't right. Ain't right no how. What do you say? Well, let me get my tool up there and let's see what the feel tells me. See what my feedback tells me. Because if I do one, I got to do the other, because I'm about as deep. And this one is tougher to do. So maybe I should do this one first. I guess, but I don't want to get anything hung up. It's... Well, this is an awful lot to punch off. Let's see if we can't do it. Uh-oh, I hit that like a ninny, didn't I? Couldn't you just tell? I just chickened out. I didn't chicken out there. Whew. Oh man, I just got a piece of liver for that one. That's nice. That helps. I like that when they go, when you finish and there's a little bit of a way, you know, the notching just follows just away a little bit. Very nice. That was worth it. I'll see if I don't mess it up here. Whew. All right. Oh man. I'll push down on my ear. Get it up there in the right spot. Yeah. Alright, buddy. We did it. Whew. I could even go deeper if I wanted to. I wish my stem weren't so ratty. I'm gonna have to just press that up just a little bit. Alrighty. I don't know. What do you think? I think I'm gonna stop. I think that I gotta send you one that's not all. I mean, it's not. This thing's not gonna win Mr. Jefferson County Andice or Andice of the Year. But I could come to regret this really quick. Experience tells me when you've messed up a few in a row and you get one that it's not a complete and utter humiliation, just finish her up and move on. Of course, gotta break a lot of ears off to make a good one. Alright, that helped a lot. Now, I don't know if I'll put some deep bass on this or not. Not deep, but sweetness. Alright. Look forward to that in the mail. I don't know if I should do some pressure work on this. Maybe I will since I've showed you now. But look at how nice the hammerstone work is. Refined edges, right? Those aren't bad, even for finished edges. And it's all hammerstone. So the secondary flaking looks like antler, right? Looks kind of soft hammery. I have a hard time with the camera away from me looking at the screen upside down. There we go. Pretty nice size. I might do some pressure on there, I might not. There, I'll give that one to you. Happy birthday.